The Local Area Coordination Project, delivered by Derby City Council, supports vulnerable people to build their vision for a good life, stay strong, be heard, control services and resources, and to feel safe, secure and confident about their future. Citizens Eye Derby wanted to find out more.
Local area coordination is a style of working that was developed in Western Australia. The aim of local area coordination is to support, identify and work with people who are vulnerable in the community and thinking about how they wanted to be supported, who they want to be supported by, rather than drawing people into a service life. If we can invest a little bit at the front to prevent people needing a service, that's a good thing. That's a good thing all round.
And we'll start with the questions around person by person. What can you do for yourself using your own gifts, skills and abilities and your own experiences and your own connections? How can those help you to solve some of your problems rather than jumping to money and services straight away? It requires a different way of thinking to traditional services. So one is waiting for people to fall into crisis, whereas this is about helping people to stay strong.
After my marriage broke down in the 90s, I moved back to Derby and I had to start again. I started with volunteering and then getting my first paid job, and my career expanded. Unfortunately though, my health became a problem. I developed chronic back pain, I have diabetes, and as a result of the physical pain that I was in, it also affected me mentally as well. So from being a very independent, strong person, getting involved in lots of different things, being a big part of the community, I suddenly had to stop everything, and it was a complete shock to me, to my system, and it didn't help with my mental health, that I couldn't leave the house, I couldn't do things that I could do before. When I met Raj, my local area coordinator, he helped me tackle a number of problems. For example, not being able to go upstairs in the house that I was living in, he helped me apply and obtain a bungalow, which I'm now living in. Another example is I was having problems with the care agency. They weren't sticking to the times they were coming, they sometimes didn't turn up at all, they didn't do what I wanted. Again, Raj was able to help me deal with that. The support I've received from the LAC has made a huge difference to my life. I now receive care at a timely fashion from an agency that respects my wishes and takes those into account. And I now have opportunities to interact, so I'm not isolated as a result of my physical or mental disabilities.
When I first met Lisa, she was introduced to me by somebody from the community. Lisa had been bereaved, she lost her mum, and Lisa is very close to her mum. And she was living in not a very nice place, no. Isn't it? No. And she has, the landlord was asking her to move because she had cats. And Lisa loves her cats, don't you? Yeah. So, and I think that's where I pitched in, because we started looking for other properties for her to move in, to make the transition for her as smooth as possible. Lisa's also got bad knees, and where she lived was about 5 stories up. And every day she had to climb up and down. Eventually now Lisa's moved to a really nice part of Derby, slightly away from where we are at the minute, but you're really happy there, yeah, aren't you? Yeah.
So I'm in debt as well, and so Simra's helped me to sort more of my debts out and that, and she's going to come to court where I'm back on for after I'm in the operation, and she's done quite a lot for me. And I'm really happy what she's doing for me. Because I've got learning difficult as well, so I can't read a lot of letters and that, so she helps me to read some of them as well.
Both Cathy and I were involved in other things with the City Council, and were invited to join the steering committee for the local area coordinators. And of course, because we both live in the local area, it's been really useful to be involved.
I wanted to feel part of the community, and Simran's helped us to do that, and she's helping us to get the community together, which is something that's never happened before, and she's given us a sense of direction in which way to go. and how to achieve that. We found little bits of the community that some of us didn't even know were there, and it's been quite eye-opening, really, that there are lots of little tiny community things going on, but they don't know about each other, and we feel now that our role is to bring all those little groups together and make sure that they've got the knowledge of each other and they can support each other. In a lot of situations we have to leave the community to get activities, and you know, particularly myself, I've got a son with special needs and there is nothing in the community for him. I have to take him out of the community, but hopefully in the future, once we've got everything up and running, we'll have activities within the community that he'll be able to access, and other people like him will be able to access as well. As a carer, I just want to see my son become part of his community and be accepted within his community. He's 30 years old, he's got learning disabilities, he's got Down syndrome. He's always been in special education, and he's becoming, since we became involved with the local area coordinator, he's become more involved within his community. He's learning about his community, and the people in the community are learning about him. And he's increasing his own circle of support, and for me that's important.
Yes. For example, if there's an elderly person who's got a garden that she can't cope with, and then there's somebody down the road who's fantastic with baking or something, they could do the barter system, couldn't they? They'd do the garden and she'd bake a cake for them. And that's what the LSE is, I think, trying to do, to harness, I think, make people talk to each other. And we seem to have lost that sense of community spirit. And I think a big chunk of what we are trying to achieve as a community is to get that spirit back, so that we are not dependent always on services for stuff. It's people around you, neighbours, friends, families that help.
Since the project started in August 2012, the team has supported over 200 residents in the pilot wards of Arboretum and Alvaston. Support can range from short-term signposting to a longer-term support relationship. To find out more information about local area coordination, contact Neil Woodhead, the project manager, on 01332 642 565.